more men charged in a murder in Spartanburg County was sentenced to nearly 3 decades in prison. Court records show LaJohn Gaither pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter yesterday. Gaither was arrested after the death of Franklin Hines Jr. in 2022. The victim was reported missing after leaving a nightclub. Hines' body was found 2 days later. Gaither was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Gaffney police made an arrest in a string of vandalism at local businesses. Officers think Jason Utt II used a homemade sling during the hours-long crime spree on Floyd Baker Boulevard. He was taken into custody the same street last night. Utt is facing 12 charges, including 10 counts of malicious damage to property.
Breaking news, Gaffney police say they are searching for a man wanted in connection to a shooting. Authorities secured warrants for the arrest of 35-year-old Anthony Jeffries Jr. Take a look at your screen. Investigators say he is wanted in connection to a shooting that happened at a Gaffney nightclub last Sunday on East Bury Street. Jeffries is wanted for murder and possession of a weapon during the commission of a violent crime. If you have any information, you're asked to call 911.
A new South Carolina law will take effect very soon, requiring drivers to put the phone down when you're behind the wheel.
7 News reporter Scarlett Lizjak talked with the police in Spartanburg about how they hope this will improve road safety.
Under the new law, drivers will not be able to have their phone in their hand while driving. Traffic Officer Michael Paris with the Spartanburg Police says on average the state sees 2 traffic collisions every hour due to drivers on their phones. To combat this issue, starting September 1st, South Carolina's hands-free law goes into effect. That means drivers will no longer be able to hold their phone in any way while driving. Paris believes the penalties will also encourage drivers to keep their eyes on the road and hands on the wheel.
The first offense is a $100 fine. If you get caught a second time within a 3-year time frame, the fine increases to $200 and 2 points off your license. I feel like with the points being a factor, that will seriously reduce the people's use of their mobile devices while they're driving down the road.
Pierce says after September 1st, a 180-day grace period will go into effect. During that time, law enforcement will only be able to issue warnings for violations of the hands-free law. In Spartanburg, Scarlett Lizjak, 7 News.
Paris tells us under the new law, you will be allowed to use your phone at a red light, but once the traffic starts to move, you have to put it away.
Some South Carolina leaders say they support building an immigrant detention facility modeled after Florida's so-called alligator Alcatraz in the Everglades.
Only on 7, our Caroline Yaffa has the latest on what the lieutenant governor calls the Palmetto Pen.
South Carolina state leaders are open to bringing a new federal immigration detention center to the state, but it's not without some opposition.
Florida has built a camp in a swamp to torture people and to hide them from due process. Any politician seeking a copy of that in South Carolina is an enemy of freedom and a participant in one of the most obvious human rights abuses of our time.
Alligator Alcatraz is an ICE facility in the Everglades that opened this month with strong support from President Donald Trump and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Noem addressed partnership with other states Saturday.
I'm having ongoing conversations with 5 other governors about facilities that they may have. Those governors have been fantastic. I will tell you, they are all Republicans. So I would challenge some Democrats to start taking care of your states, partner with us in a way to make your communities safer.
You'll have a lot of people that will deport on their own because they don't want to end up in an alligator Alcatraz or some of those other places. So I think this is a model, but we need other states to step up.
Lieutenant Governor Pamela Yvette posted on social media saying Palmetto Pen sounds like a good place to start.
I will ensure cooperation with President Trump's immigration enforcement and make sure that not 1 square inch of South Carolina becomes a sanctuary for illegals.
But not everyone supports this idea.
The people toying with this idea are toying with fundamental violations of human rights and the Constitution. People talking about this for clout should feel shame.
While no definitive answer has been announced, Governor McMaster's office says state officials are exploring South Carolina's resources and unique assets. In Columbia, Caroline Yaffa, 7 News.
Paul Bowers says since this is a hypothetical idea, now is the time for people of South Carolina to stop it.
New housing developments, of course, are popping up all over the upstate, and that has an effect on traffic, schools, and other infrastructure.
7 News' Lauren Miller explains how Greenville County plans to pass the cost of the updates needed to sustain the building boom.
Greenville County seems to be following suit with other towns in the upstate by establishing impact fees, forcing developers to take the financial hit for their effect on the community. Rapid growth in Greenville County has caused a deterioration of some roads and sidewalks. It's led council members to consider impact fees, something the city of Fountain Inn recently implemented. And just like it, Greenville County says the fees are one-time payments paid for by the developer for each home or apartment within a planned complex.
You know, your car, you pay taxes every year. Your house, you pay taxes every year. So this is a one-time fee just to get some money in the bank so we can fix the property that, you know, we got 70,000 people coming a year into Greenville County.
County Council member Rick Bradley says the extra revenue would only go towards fixing the area around the development.
If you build a subdivision and you and I never go in it, why should we pay to pay that road next month, next to 10 years? So it's just a way to take some of the burden from the property owners. If you need a traffic light, if you need a turning lane, you can use impact fees to do stuff like that.
But this is all in the early stages now. The council approved to move forward with a state-mandated study Tuesday night. For some, like Ryan Cronin, who lives near Greer, he can understand the idea of impact fees because he's witnessed the growth in the county.
We've even seen they're building out a brand new complex there. They built the one right by the park there that's built out now, and then there's another one across the railroad that's just getting built out.
But his wife, Kim, worries that it could still end up hurting them.
That would cause an increase of rent. Because of the builders needing to pay that fee, if that would cause an increase in prices with homes and apartments.
Bradley says that's a concern some council members share.
Their reasoning, what I understand, and I could be wrong, it would drive the price of the home up. And there are some merit to that, but there are studies out there, if you care to look for them, that it doesn't.
The state-required impact fee study takes about 180 days to complete. County leaders plan to discuss its findings to see if they will move forward with implementing impact fees. In Greenville County, Lauren Miller, 7 News.
And Greenville County leaders say the study can assess infrastructure needs and, of course, if an impact fee is even needed.
Simpsonville City Council voted to officially sell the former City Hall building, but not everybody's on board. And while city leaders say they're excited, some people are raising concerns. Taylor Farmer has the story.
Simpsonville's former City Hall here on North Main Street is set to become a mixed-use development. But while construction could begin next year, not everyone on council is on board with the deal that made it happen. Simpsonville continues to grow with new apartments, shops, and restaurants opening across the city. It's become a place many people proudly call home. And that momentum isn't slowing down.
The city of Simpsonville has sold the former City Hall property to Blue Ridge Land Holdings for $840,000.
It's the same developer behind Burdett Central, an entertainment hub just down the street. The city says the new project called Burdett North will have a similar feel, but will include even more. More than 100 apartments are proposed for the site, along with new retail and residential space right in the heart of downtown. City officials say they're also planning streetscape and infrastructure improvements to support the increased traffic in the area. But while construction is expected to begin soon, the final sale of the building didn't get unanimous support from City Council. 3 members raised concerns about the timeline. The sales agreement first started about 4 years ago, and the building was appraised using 2021 market values.
But we had not yet started the municipal complex project, so we needed to stay in the old City Hall property for city operations, and Blue Ridge Land Holdings agreed, for that.
The city says the sale, approved unanimously in 2021, was part of a binding agreement. Despite logistical delays, legal obligations required the sale to go forward. Still, city leaders say the project will be another economic boost for the community. They also hope it's something exciting for residents and visitors.
I think it was time to turn that land over to a developer who could use it to make something that would have a positive impact on downtown Simpsonville.
Construction is expected to begin next summer and wrap up by June of 2028. In Simpsonville, Taylor Farmer, 7 News.
The initial sales contract signed in 2021 included a confidentiality clause, meaning that some details of the agreement would not be released publicly.